am so excited to introduce you to two women who are phenomenal to me. I met these two ladies at the Christian Communicators Conference, and I cannot wait to share them with you. Shelly Brown and Athena Dean Holtz. And before we kick off and let you hear a little bit about them and the conference, I just want to say that one of the things we love about this conference is that women come from all over the United States. And what you have right now is women from 4 different states, but we want to let them tell you about this conference and about themselves. Shelly.
Yes. So I'm Shelly Brown, and I live in sunny Orlando, Florida. And I have lived here for 39 years, and I'm still not used to the heat. It takes me a while to get used to things. So, maybe I'll get used to it soon.
Athena, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am coming to you from the Northwest, from the Seattle area. So we get rain, we get snow, we got mountains, and we got water, and it's beautiful. But it's been our honor as Redemption Press to be a sponsor of this event, because I just believe so strongly in what this event actually can do for the women who come committed to really improving their speaking abilities.
Yes. Well, we want to kick this off with some questions that we have for you. So Lori is going to start with the questions, and I just can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, how exciting. Hey, Shelly and Athena, good to see you again.
Yes.
It's been a few months.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about our conference is that when you register for the conference, you don't just sit and wait for the conference date to show up. Because when you register for this conference, you become part of the family. And we invite you to join a private Facebook page where you can join and get to know all the other women who are coming to the conference. And one by one, they start coming in. And before you know it, we've got 25 and then 30 and then 35 women getting to know each other. So I just would love to hear your feedback on that part of the conference, because I think it's not typical. I think it's a little unique to be able to connect before the actual conference begins. So Shelly, do you have any thoughts on how that impacted you or made a difference in this type of conference?
Yeah, so I think more of a unique experience because I was a last minute invitee. Athena invited me to join her because I work with Athena. I support her on a lot of initiatives with Redemption Press. And she had invited me, I think it was probably about a week, if not just under a week. And I just said yes, that I was all in, but I didn't know what I was in for. I had no idea. I just knew it was a speakers conference. And of course, I just was excited to be able to join Athena and be a part of her world, which, on a little side note, we had not yet met face to face. So we've known each other for online for more than a decade. And we've been working together for just under a year. And so this was our first time. So I was excited about all of that. And so when it was, I think I was probably, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think I was like the last one that was allowed in because y'all had like capped out. And so Shelly was able to, squeak in. And so y'all put me in that Facebook group, and I was just like, getting all these welcomes, and everyone was so excited. I'm like, what is this? This is really sweet. So it was like baptism by fire, just getting in there, and just the welcoming, and really just the I don't know, the acceptance and the authenticity like came through that Facebook group. And I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, but this was just precious. And I was like, okay. And as the day approached, just a few more days before I was to leave to come up there to the conference, I'm just getting more and more excited, just to be able to meet you all face to face, and of course get to hug on Athena for the first time in real life.
So Shelly, what I also hear you saying is that it's never too late. It's never too late to
Really
jump
not.
in and join us, right?
Really not.
Be part of
And
the
what a
family.
gift, because it really was last minute, and I know that some things had gone back and forth to see, can we get Shelly in? I really want her to join me, and y'all just, I don't know if y'all made room for me or if there really was just that one last slot, but God was in it, and I really, and through the first, and we'll talk more about this, I'm sure, as our time goes on, but the first couple of days, I really didn't know why I was there. I just said yes. And yeah, so, but yeah, getting into that Facebook group and seeing all those precious ladies and being a part of that, it was like nothing I'd experienced. It was so sweet.
Athena, what was your perspective on that?
Well, there's such a family dynamic. It's just like, we're just family. You bring us into your family,
Yeah.
and we are just all sisters. And it has been, I think, the group dynamic, both online and in person, up to the event and then during the event. It's seamless. It's not like two different, like, sometimes it can be awkward either in a small group like that or in person, but there's just none of that. No awkwardness, no, women came because they wanted to connect. And so having that connection working up to the event because I was there when the event got canceled because of COVID, and then the group kind of changed. Some people could come to the new date, some people couldn't, but it just was the ramp up in the group just made the fellowship so much sweeter when we actually gathered together.
That is so true. So true.
Totally agree with what you're saying. And when it comes to how it was not awkward, I think a part of the reason why it was not awkward is because we all got to know each other in the months preceding it through the Facebook page. And Lori and I are very accessible. You can call us, you can ask questions, because really we are a small conference where big things happen. So what we like to call all of us at the end of a conference is family, friends who become family. And really, I love this conference because I get to know people from all over the United States that God has put in my path. So as Lori and I prepare to kick off this year's Christian Communicators Conference 2021 in Texas, it is titled Unstoppable. And when I look at you two women, I definitely know that you are unstoppable. Unstoppable, that's kind of hard to say. Unstoppable because against all odds, you still came to the conference. Even though COVID was rampant and everything that was going on at the time, I know for me, I never felt that God was saying, cancel the conference. So Athena, can you tell me why, against all odds, you didn't cancel?
Well, I just am such a believer in God ordering our steps and protecting us. And I was just so committed to it that, I just trusted that God was going to protect me and keep me safe. And you know what? If I ended up getting COVID and going to heaven, well, great. That's okay too. But none of us did. None of us got sick. Nobody.
That's right.
Oh, I just love that.
I think the reason, I know one of the things, 2 weeks after we all got home, one of the things I did was I sent out an email and I said, is everybody healthy? And everybody was, which confirmed to Lori and I that this conference was supposed to take place. And that was the perfect timing for it because we had some brave and bold and very beautiful women who were all coming together to learn how they could glorify God with the gift that He has given them. And our conference is all about collaboration. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration and networking and what goes along with when we all come together. So Shelly, tell me a little bit about, I know that you came in last minute, but you could have also said, there's no way I'm going to come in the midst of this. Tell me a little bit about what made you come last minute against all the odds as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as Athena when it comes to the COVID, and just what this whole last 2020 has been, we have to be wise and prudent. But I just decided I'm not living in fear. And I just trusted the Lord in obedience. There was something very strong in my spirit that compelled me and said that I have to go. And I had some pretty significant things happen within those few days of leaving when I was supposed to leave, that clearly the enemy, and I believe it was the enemy of my soul that was trying to keep me from going, which made me even more determined to take that step of faith and obedience. But I will tell you, because I drove up, being in Orlando, I think it was about like a 10-hour drive, and I was looking forward to getting some silence and some quiet time on the road. But even through the night, because of what had happened, my dad had a serious injury that took place, and so we were in and out of the hospital that week and just arranging care for him and everything. And of course the guilt, I'm like, who are you? Why would you leave him? And I wouldn't have just left him. I had, some things in place, but I just felt so guilty. And even through the night, it was about 5 o'clock that next morning when I was supposed to be leaving in about a half an hour, my bag was packed, and I was still just agonizing. And I heard the Lord because I was ready to not go. Like, Lord, if you want me to stay, as much as I want to be there, and I feel like I need to be there, but just tell me, show me. If you want me to stay, I'll stay back. But if you want me to go, show me that I'm to be there. And if he had spoken audibly, it would not have been any more clearly. He said, are you going to trust me? Mm-hmm. I opened the door and I want you to trust me. And it was the trust that he was going to take care of my dad. He was going to take care of me on the road. I was going through some other challenges and just some woundedness in my heart. And he knew I needed that retreat away. And even that drive, that 10-hour drive, oh my goodness, just being in his presence, and that just to kick off that week, it was all orchestrated by him. And he just made it so clear, even with COVID, everything that was, like you're describing, those obstacles and just unstoppable. No, you need to go. And I'm so glad I did.
Well, I'm so glad you did too, because meeting you has been such a blessing. I mean, you have blessed me beyond belief in many ways. I always show these cards you gave me. I got these in the mail from Shelly, and they just really encourage my soul, and I will keep them forever because they're scriptures that I can stand on every single day. That is one of the things about this conference that I love. I loved in 2014 when I attended as an attendee, was that people got to know each other. We formed relationships with each other. And one of the things I loved most about this conference is that we were more than a speakers conference. We are also a spiritual conference. It's a spiritual retreat for the speaker, as well as a learning, a training, and everything else that goes into it. But we really try to be a conference that deals with the heart of everything. And there's so many ways that I can go with that, but I know that there's a lot of things we need to talk about today. So, Lori, what's another question that we have of these phenomenal women?
Shelly, thank you for your story. And Tammy, we hear many stories like that, don't we?
We do.
About how you take that step forward, and it's just like the fear is a smokescreen. And once you step through that, the smoke is cleared and you can have more clarity and confidence. So anyway, Athena, I do have a question for you. You came to the conference. You've been to 2 conferences. actually, and we thank you for your sponsorship. You are amazing. The women love you. They love to connect with you one-on-one. But for you personally, in your ministry and your business, what new things, did anything new launch after the conference? Anything new doors open? Because that's our purpose too, is to educate, validate, and launch women into their calling. And you are a successful publisher and writer. What could possibly pop up new? Do you have anything to share on that end?
Yes. Because I'm a publisher and I'm always helping other authors get their message out, I don't ever take much time with my own. That kind of always comes last. And I was, so last year when I came, or actually 2019 when I came, I didn't come as a participant, I just came as a sponsor, which again is just being there to help other people with their messages. So this time that I came in 2020, I came for, yes, as a sponsor, but I wanted to work on my ministry, my speaking, my, just, it gave me a whole new sense of confidence in the message that God's given me and the story that I have to tell. And, a lot of things, and Shelly has worked with me on a lot of those things, my personal website, my YouTube channel, everything kind of came together all at the same time at the conference. And it has just been a relief, I had a sigh of relief that, okay, I'm finally obeying God and taking steps forward to expand that, getting that story out in different ways, a lot of video and Facebook Lives and different things like that because of the virus, but it solidified me and affirmed me and really did begin to launch a new adventure in finally really telling my story.
And you have a powerful story to tell as well.
Amen. Praise God. He's a Romans 8:28 God. That is for sure.
That's exactly right. And, when it comes to adventures, like you said, I love how your conference, you were one of the first ones to step out, Athena, and do the virtual conference. And you taught so many of us how to do that well. There's a difference between doing it and doing it well. And one of the things that we love about both of you women is that what you do very well, and you are willing to share what you do. With this conference, I think both of you know that women come to this conference who are just beginning to speak, and women come to this conference who are full-time speakers. And the best part about it is that there is no better than, there's no, I'm a little higher on the spectrum, then there's none of that. We are equal when we are there, and we help each other and we teach each other. And there's a lot that can be learned, whether you're full-time, or whether you are just beginning. But that is one of the things that we love too, is that we all get together and we work together. So with that being said, I want to make sure that if people would like to talk to either one of you, that they know how to get in touch with you as well. So Athena, tell me all of the ways that people could get in touch with you, even if they wanted to ask you about this conference, or even if they wanted to look at your ministry and what you do.
Well, I would say I'm most active on Facebook. So if you want to reach out to me through Messenger or direct message or on Facebook, it's Athena Dean Holtz. My website, my personal website is athenadeanholtz.com. And then the Redemption Press website is redemption-press.com. So you can pretty much, I would say, find me on Facebook, and I would be happy to answer any questions you have and see how I can help you make a good decision which would be to go.
Shelly, what about you? How do people get in contact with you? How do they see what you do?
So I'm going to jump on Athena's bandwagon right there and just say Facebook really is probably the easiest and fastest, best way. My website, I've been creating a lot of other people's websites and pouring in that way. So my website, transformedandfree.com, is not up yet. All right. But it's going to be transformed and free. I think I put a coming soon page up. But if you're on Facebook, I'd love for you to follow me, friend me, message me. And if you're not on Facebook though, I'm just going to give my personal email address for now. So if that's okay,
Yes.
it's shellymb@yahoo.com. So it's SHELLYM as in Marie, B as in Brown. So shellymb@yahoo.com. I'd love to hear from you and answer any questions and encourage you and become your friend.
You know, that's the whole point of this, is that we show how it's not just a conference where it's full of training. It's a conference where the word friend is used. This is the place where you will meet your next group of friends. And that's what I love about it.
Can I say something about that too, real quickly?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Because I think it was the very first night y'all had said something like, you are going to make lifelong friends, your new best lifelong friends, something like that. And I'll be honest, because remember, I was new. I wasn't in the Facebook group for like a couple of months prior. I just had that week, which was precious, but I hadn't yet begun to make those relationships, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, okay. Lifelong friends, because it takes a while to nurture friendships, right? But let me tell you something. I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever experienced this before, where these friendships were cultivated so deeply and so quickly within that week. And so when you said that, I was a little pessimistic. Is that the right word? I was
Pessimistic.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I was a little doubtful, that was like, but let me tell you something. You were right on. And they have become some of my very dearest friends. And we're not talking surface. We're talking that we're all in. We support one another. We encourage, share each other's work. There is zero. I have not seen it one time yet with this group. Zero competition.
That's right.
It is that we love one another, and we're getting to know each other more and more. And there is a support network. I unequivocally can say, and I've been in this world for several decades, I've never experienced and witnessed what came out of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The thing is, we don't have to do what we do. We don't have to do it alone. We do have each other. And it's at this conference that we can make those connections and realize that we have that support. So, but how many times do we think we have to do what we do all by ourselves?
Well, I know that every day we would sing the song, I want my stage to be an altar. And from the first time we sung that to the very last time we sung that, I saw women mean that more and more and more. And what we hope when they leave is that what that conference does is that it glorifies God in such a big way. And that what it does is train women to go out and shout it from the mountain, tell it to people they know, but share the gift that God has given them of speaking, of writing, of singing, whatever platform they have, that their stage will be an altar. So I want to thank you both for being with us today. We so appreciate you. I love seeing both of your faces, and I don't want to say goodbye. And I really don't have to, because you were both there. You can both come to the follow-up speakers retreat, which is part of the package this next summer in Texas. So, which is at a totally different place. And it's not the Christian Communicators Conference, but it's a reunion for all of us to get together and just see where God has taken us in the past year. So I look forward to seeing you both. I look forward just to be able to call you friend for the rest of my life. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank
Amen.
you. The
Thanks
joy.
for the